The more things change, the more they stay the same. I'm talking about the whole generated hoopla surrounding artificial intelligence these days. Artificial intelligence on its own is not bad. It is a tool. At the end of the day, it is a tool. Unfortunately, too many people have been misusing it for evil, and that's what's causing a lot of people to have issues with it. Because there's corporations like trying to replace their labor force using AI, and of course that is an issue. But at the end of the day, AI is just a tool. You still need humans to interact with it to make it work. So I feel like all these people jumping on the AI train are just going to collapse because they're not going to realize what they're doing, which is basically the issue. What they don't know what AI is, but they're jumping onto it because they feel like if they wait too long, they're going to fall behind everyone. And so, in terms of the art community, this is basically the Art-pocalypse Part 3. This is nothing really new in the sphere of the art community. If you remember, back in 1982, there was this movie, if you're familiar with it, called Tron, made by Disney. And Tron was unique in that it was the first movie to really utilize computer generated images, CGI. And at the time, it was very revolutionary for the way it looked, but unfortunately, a lot of people in the film industry considered it cheating to use a computer in filmmaking. So, as much as it pioneered a new age of visual effects, the Academy Awards and Oscars and everyone decided to deny the studio from winning an award because of visual effects, because of the fact that they used CGI. CGI was a very big hot topic back in the day because they were like, oh, filmmaking needs to be made by hand, effects need to be practical, you gotta do everything like manually. But nowadays, there's not a single movie out there that doesn't have CGI, especially within like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like you can't imagine any of those movies being made today not using CGI at all. Now it's so commonplace, but back then it's the same outrage as it is with AI. It's like people were like CGI is cheating, and it's not. It's a tool, just like any other art tool out there. And then later on in 2002, Photoshop 7 came out, and that caused another art-pocalypse in the art community because at that point in time, people were starting to transition from traditional pen and paper, physical media art to digital art. And like people were all up in arms about it too, because there was like, oh, digital art is not real art because it's being made by a computer, which again is also a tool compared to, sculpting stuff out of clay or marble and using paint and canvas. So we are back again here in like 2025, which honestly really started 2022. So we're seeing like this very consistent changes in the art industry with 1982's Tron and then 2002's Photoshop 7 and now 2022, or honestly 2021, 2022, is that we have the AI revolution. But again, at the end of the day, CGI, computer programs, and now artificial intelligence is like, it's all just a tool. It all depends on how you use it. And of course, with every like corporation and major studios out there, they want to leverage that. They want to make their production cheaper. It's basically a way for them to cheap out by like not paying people and laying people off. When CGI became a thing in filmmaking, people were like, "Oh my gosh, they're gonna lay." There were layoffs. Like they didn't need as many people doing visual effects as they did after CGI. So it was a way for studios to lay off people, which it sucks, but that's just how technology goes. Like look what happened to the horse and buggy. Like those horses got laid off because now we have cars and trains and trams and all these other transportation options that didn't involve horses. So that's just how it goes, and it's just going to take a while for people to adjust to the new norm. AI is going to be the new norm just as much as CGI and digital art has been the new norm for like years now. So maybe in another 20 years, it's like 1982 to 2002, yeah, 20, 30 or so years, like AI will just be the norm because there's already advances in medical technology using AI to like find cancers or like figure out like how to combat bacteria and other infections. So it's been doing a lot of good, but so far everyone's just focused on the generative AI aspect, which is a problem because like generative AI is basically plagiarism. You're plagiarizing other existing works of art to make your art and call it your own art. But I mean, Photoshop was pretty similar in that regard. People were plagiarizing other art to make their art. But the way AI uses the art is not that far off from when people were photoshopping memes, because there a lot of times even back then during that era of the internet, people were fooled by images that people were photoshopping and saying like, oh yeah, this is a real image of like a UFO or like some president doing something like illegit, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's a real photo of this thing happening. It's like, no, this is pre-AI art, but it was made by human hands. They just took a bunch of images and photoshopped them together to create an image that can look very convincing. And now we're in the new age of that, whereas AI is making straight up videos of people doing stuff that never really happened and fooling millions of others. So I think once the technology has matured, it's gonna be normalized. Like so much like people recognize like what's the difference between a real photo and something that was photoshopped. Even though like some photoshoppers are like really good at making an image look really convincing, I mean there's always like little tells. Like someone's always gonna be able to figure out a photoshopped image from a real image, as right now it's like an AI generated image from like a real image. So it's gonna take some time for us to get used to it, but this is the new norm now. It's not going away. It's much like CGI didn't go away and digital art didn't go away. It's the new norm, and we just we just have to deal with that. And the industry is adjusting to it, and again, there's nothing we can do to stop it. All we can do is just create. Just create, do the best you can, and try to use methods that doesn't feed into the AI, like Cloudflare. Cloudflare, a lot of websites are using Cloudflare to combat DDoSing, and it's also combating generative AI because as long as you have Cloudflare to protect your work, AI cannot draw from that to use in their generative AI. We're already at a point where the generative AI is already eating itself because there's reports going on. Generative AI has sourced so much of human-made art that is now using AI art into its database. So now it's referencing AI art to create new AI art, and it's just like this whole Ouroboros effect to it. So I'm not worried about generative AI because there are gonna eventually be ways to combat it, and it's already being regulated again with services like Cloudflare, which is like you can't use AI technology to scrape their data anymore. You have to create your own data, and it can only scrape that data. As long as you have images and art that you own the copyright to, then you can only use AI for that, which I'm perfectly fine with. Because there's a lot of like amateur animators like myself. It's like we have tons of references for AI to use, and AI would help streamline that. It's like if you already have a particular art style, then the AI can use that to help you, especially if you have an artist that encountered a debilitating disability that prevents them from creating more. The AI can be like, okay, I can help assist you in your creative endeavors because you've already made all this art and you're just going to make more of that art anyways. So yeah, using AI in that regard, I'm fine with, because again, at the end of the day, AI is just a tool. You still need human interaction with it for it to work. AI by itself cannot create. So it really falls on the people using AI rather than AI itself. So I feel like all this anger towards AI is misdirected, much like all the anger towards like Photoshop was misdirected. It's like it's not Photoshop's fault for making comparatively beautiful art to traditional artists. It's like that's just the new medium. That's the evolution of art. Same with CGI. It's like, oh, CGI is cheating. You can't be using CGI in filmmaking and TV shows because it's not genuine. It's like, I personally do not fear AI because AI has so many limits in place to keep it from going out of control. And it's really up to the users to determine how far that limit goes. And even then, it's like it's still a limit on the user themselves because people can only come up with so many different ideas before like they run out of ideas and then the AI just like sits there going, "What will you feed me, master? Nothing. I guess I will die." So yeah, that's my takeaway on this. This is basically the new CGI and digital art-pocalypse deal going on, which again, we will get through it. We will just have to adjust to the new norm. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. So that'll be all for now. Until next time, this is Raptor signing off. Laters.